How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. How's the squad looking after the international break, and in particular, I saw Pape walking off. How's Dom? How's Kolomawani? Quite a list.
Yeah, they are good, most of them. I'm just thinking, you said Pape trained today, is ready, available. Lucas trained today, ready, available. What was that? That was
Kolomawani?
Kolmoani, yes, trained today. Available, of course, have a mask you need to play with. And Dom is not ready yet. I think he also had a article recently where he spoke about it. So we are very, as I said, it's the same. Very aware that when we put him out there, we want to be absolutely sure that, as sure as we can be, that no setback going forward. So, and I'm comfortable he will soon. But I'll be ready, but I will not put a time frame on it.
Number of London clubs consider Spurs as their big derby, but this one here, without doubt, is the big one, Arsenal. When you took this job, did you know about the importance of this rivalry, and how excited are you? I know you've played them in a friendly, but this is the real one.
Yeah, this is the real one. Super excited. Of course, before I stepped into the club, of course, I knew about the North London derby. But it's when you are in it, you sense it and feel that this is important. You feel from the fans, you feel from the staff members, the players, the people that's been working here for years. This is the big one. I always say the next one is the next game is the most important game, and we'll always have that. But I'm very, very, very aware there's two games in a year that's even more important, and this is the first of them. And we're ready. We're up for it. We are looking forward to it, and we'll do everything we can to win.
6 years ago, Spurs appointed Jose Mourinho. A few days later, Arsenal appointed Mikel Arteta. He said then trust the process. He was ridiculed a little bit then, but in fairness, they look very, very strong now. Do you envisage it taking 6 years to get the squad you want here, or do you reckon it'll be done less?
I think it's a good example that of a club that have stick, I can say, to the process and stick to. I would say not. It's not only. I know it's Mikel in charge, me in charge, but it's so many more people working, but sticking to what we believe in over a longer period. I think 6 years is very rare you get that long in football. I also think it's fair to say that it took probably 3 seasons for Arteta, so the 4th season, that's where he competed. Now he's in the 7th season, so he's really, really ready to compete in his 4th season. So he took over, then 2 full seasons, then the 4th one. So I think that's how you should see it. And then we know the difference between having ultimate success to win something or not is like this, and you need margins. But the process is the most important thing.
Do you have a book coming out soon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. People must judge that. Yeah.
Interesting quotes about a very busy day you had. A meeting with Chelsea and Manchester United. That's quite a day. Just tell us what that was. Obviously, you didn't join those clubs, and it's worked out that you're now the Tottenham Hotspur head coach. But just tell us about that day in particular.
Yeah, I think of course, very aware then when you decide to make a book, there will be things in it that can be interesting. That's definitely one of the things that day, whether it was a special day. But I think it was the context of what is it I wanted to do the next step, or can't choose everything, would stay long for Brentford, do something else. And then there was this special day with a meeting with two big clubs. That is history. I'm here now. Another massive club. I'm very happy here, and I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Very good luck.
Thank you.
Hi Thomas. A North London derby is always one of the biggest fixtures of the season. Spurs currently have a 100% away record, but have only won once at the Emirates in the Premier League, and that was 15 years ago. How do you balance the confidence of the recent form with the reality of that history?
I think I definitely look more into our, how can you say, away performance form, away form. Very confident in the team going into the game on Sunday. Big respect on against a good team. Currently can't run away from that. Even that we don't like it. But Arsenal are top of the table, quite a distance. They've been good for a few years, but we need to do everything we can to turn that around. And it's one game on Sunday, one game where I'm convinced that we will compete a lot, and I will do everything we can to beat them.
You mentioned Arsenal at the top of the table and stopping their set-piece threat, which is something many teams have struggled with this season. They currently hold the record for the highest goals scored from set-pieces so far this season. How does that challenge motivate you?
That's a big challenge. I think we hold the record of the fewest goals conceded from set pieces, so that's not a bad stat either. But there's no doubt that one of the battles we need to win in this game to win the game is a set piece battle. So can we win that battle? Then we're halfway there. Because they are strong, we are strong, and that will be a battle in itself. And then there's a lot of other battles: the high pressure, the defending, the building up, and all that. But the set pieces will be a battle.
And Arsenal's defence as well is also super strong. What's the key to creating chances against a defence that's been so hard to open up?
Yeah, they've been good. Of course, we trust that we can score goals there. I think it's also fair to say on the road we've been quite good to do that. I think the more we can make them a little bit disorganized, which would be a challenge, the better. And that's what we'll try to do.
Ali. Hi there, Thomas. Just want to ask you about a trio of defenders. So Radu Dragusin played 45 minutes in the under-21s friendly, but also Ben Davies and Kota Takai. Just where are they all at in their fitness levels?
Yeah, Radu, very happy. He is probably been that for a couple of weeks now. Full training, full in, everything. With the team, played his first 45 minutes in 9 months, something like that. Wednesday, I think it was, last Wednesday. Very happy with that. Trained fully today. He's definitely getting very close to be able to be selected. Now it's just a matter of performance and probably just a few more game minutes to be fully available. Kota and Ben both trained with the team today, so it was the first time, so that's also positive.
Archie Gray, how far away is he?
He trained with the team as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting to the stage now where you're actually getting bodies back.
Yeah, exactly. So now I need to make difficult decisions.
Brendan Johnson scored a lovely goal on the international break. How important is that for a player like him, a confidence player like most players?
Yeah, I think every players are confidence players. Some need it more than others, but everyone need that confidence. We all know if we are a little bit more confident, it's easier to turn forward, to play forward, to run forward, to trust yourself. Don't even think. It's just intuitive when you make your decision or your movement. Very happy for it. I think actually Bren has had some very positive performances. In Copenhagen won, all the things, positive things, and then Man United won, and now he came on the back of a good game for Wales.
Just a very quick final one. Obviously, you spoke about in the book about the United and Chelsea talks on the same day. How different was the Spurs conversations you had later on for three very different clubs? In a way, they are a little bit similar. You speak to people and you present what you would like to bring to the club. So there's a lot of similarities in that sense, I would say.
Thomas, hello. I just think with the North London derby, there's probably a perception that it's probably one of the best derbies in the league because there's chaos, there's drama, there's red cards. So just interested, as a manager that hasn't had one yet, and now you're going to be in the thick of it, what is your perceptions of the derby before you've taken one? Like, have you watched something before and thought, I want to be involved in that? I mean, what do you watch? Because the games just end up bonkers most of the time. So what's your sort of perceptions of it before you've experienced one?
The interesting thing is that probably both Mikel and I would like a little bit more control game, but it will probably end out absolutely madhouse. Very enjoyable to watch for the outside people or fans. I expect how can you say, not a difficult game of course, but as you say, a game that can go anywhere. Everything can happen in that game. In games like that, like everything also even out a little bit more because it's so competitive. The atmosphere in the stadium, doesn't matter if we play away or home, is intense. So we are just really looking forward to it. I know we'll be ready, and we're looking forward to it.
I mean, just on that subject, you joked about you and Mikel wanting a bit more calmness. I mean, do you just think I'm going to have to embrace the chaos, or a 0-0 will be a good result, or how will you go into it as a manager, or do you just go along as the game just dictates, really?
I don't know. Definitely embrace controlled chaos, or chaos we like to create, if that makes sense, because I think chaos is also good. It can also be too structured, too fixed, stop, start. So we need a bit of chaos. I think we all need that. And that chaos is transitions. Chaos is high pressure. You win it. Chaos is set piece, second phase, and all those elements are areas we would of course like to exploit if we can in that situation. And by the way, we never go for 0-0. Maybe we'll end 0-0, but we will always try to win. Always, always, always.
You mentioned set pieces. These are the two best teams in the league with set pieces. You've set piece coach you've known for a long time, Andreas. Arsenal have got Nicolas Javert, who you work with at Brentford. Just what makes them two stand out as probably the best set piece coaches in the league because of how they are in the table?
Oh, that's very simple. I educated both of them in Brentford. That's but they were both in Brentford. So I worked with Nicolas for maybe almost 3 years, I think. Very good guy, good coach. Same with Andreas. Worked with him also in Brentford, and now again here. And I think maybe some of it is actually the bit we did in Brentford, where we really laser focused on it and really used a lot of time, made both of them to excel to a high level.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finish with George at the back, please.
Hi Thomas, you gave an update on a lot of players. I think you missed Mohamed Kudus, or maybe you did. Is he available?
He trained today as well, so that was good. Thank you. So there was a lot of players being out, so I need a little bit of help from my friends, so thank you.
No worries. In terms of kind of, I guess, you know, your previous games against Arsenal at Brentford, not the best comparison maybe. You played three at the back quite a lot of times. What is it about that formation against Arsenal in particular that you liked in those games, and obviously did get you some success as well?
Yeah, I think back then was, as I said, it was a little bit different. What I did in the first 3 years in the Premier League with Brentford was more or less as a go-to. I played a 3-5-2 against the top 6 teams, but I actually changed that the last year to play more 4-2-3-1 like we do now. So there's not, it's not especially against Arsenal, it was against Liverpool, City and Tottenham.
And in terms of kind of speaking to people this week, someone that knows Arsenal very well, Vinay Venkatesham, have you kind of sat down with him, sort of taken any nuggets from him that can maybe be of use on Sunday, or not really?
No, not really. I have the biggest respect for Vinay. I think he's a top CEO in many ways, and of course when you are CEO in a football club, we're also speaking about football stuff, but Vinay is a clever guy, so you also know when not to speak about football or when to speak about football, and I think this is one of the moments.
And just finally from it obviously took Mikel a lot of time, you know, to get to this point now where Arsenal feel a real formidable force. It felt like in those early years he was almost as much trying to get results, also trying to make the squad his own, and he obviously has got rid of a lot of players. It's very early days in your tenure, but do you already kind of sense in your current squad now there is certain players that probably aren't going to be here in the long run and here for the ride, and you do need to move them on?
I think it's natural. If I'm here in 6 years' time, it will be a completely different squad. Just natural. Some will be sold, some will develop to get high, whatever. Some will maybe not develop as much as we want to. So I think that's a natural thing. It's not like I've I take my decision on him and him need to leave now. But of course during the spring, of course we'll look into that, which is natural in terms of developing a squad.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there.
Just on from that, I was looking at your first Premier League game in charge was against Arsenal, was the famous 2-0. There's many current Arsenal players on your team who were the Arsenal team days. You had Norgard and Ryan, and they had Saka and Ben White. Shows you the turnover.
So there was the 4 players that day.
The ones who actually featured.
And 2 of them are now traitors and moved to the wrong club. Yeah.
I guess when you look back at that game, which obviously was a really sort of had lift-off for you in the Premier League in that match against Arsenal. How far do you feel you've come as manager, and how much do you feel Arteta has to the team facing?
I think Arteta is a good manager. I think he's one of the managers you respect all the phases of the game, which I always said in that aspect. As you say, that was a special game. It was his first game in the Premier League. Is a day I'll never forget, because that's, we started for every Brentford fans was unique, and of course that's 4 years ago, a little bit more than 4 years ago. So definitely learned a lot in the last 4 years about the different teams, about myself, what you do, but when I can say I had a decent experience before that, so it's a small, as I say, always adding layers. That's with the team, with myself. That's a little bit adding layer to communication, a little bit add layer to the leadership, a little add layer to small tactical tweaks, because I believe that I have clear principles, but constantly develop them a little bit, or tweak them a little bit. That's probably the learning.
You referenced the goal you scored in that game from the long throw the other day, which was set pieces. Rasmus Ankersen was really happy because he was all about long throws. I mean, when you were talking about that, you spoke about how the bigger clubs, with respect to taking on the focus on set pieces, and Arsenal clearly one of those. Do you think that day that was a big moment for them, watching them you score that goal against them?
Arsenal? Oh, I don't know. I've seen Arteta's been quoted for him always being interested in it for a long time. So that I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that the bits we've done at Brentford inspired a lot of clubs to focus even more on set pieces, and it is quite interesting that this year I go from Brentford to Tottenham. The spike in focus on set pieces for all the teams, like even more, especially long throws, it's like crazy. It seems like everyone are very, very focused on, which we should be. It's third of our goals. So why not be very good in that phase, and very good in high pressure, and we need to be good in many phases.
And just lastly, two things. One, is Archie Gray actually able to play?
Yeah, he should be able to play, yeah.
And for Kyle Mawani playing the mask, what kind of challenge will that pose?
Hopefully none. He trained with it the last 4 sessions. So yeah, he looks fine. He can move. That's fine. Yeah.
We talk about Arteta's time Arteta's had, and him making Arsenal into challenges. When you talk about taking 4 years or whatever, he has also spent a ton of money. And it strikes me that the real turning point was when they spent 100 million on Declan Rice. It seemed to take them to a different level. Your predecessor, Ange, said that Tottenham, in his view, would never spend £100 million on a player. Obviously, it was a different setup then. So now, knowing the setup now, do you see a day where Tottenham could spend £100 million on a player?
In the next 50 years, then yes. That's a good question. I think there's a lot. It's very evident that every successful club, not for 1 year, but like not only a dynasty, but over years, let's say 5, 6, 7 years, to build that, you need a combination of time and do the processes all the time, so get, depending on where the team come from. So of course, so you go from here, you need to go here, take a little bit longer time. If you're here, then you maybe can do a little bit quicker, but to stay up there is still very difficult. So time and process for everyone involved. And then of course, always need an investment in football. You need to invest. If you want to have success, you need to invest in players. Hopefully do it cleverly, and we want to do it smart, so we don't invest too much and on the wrong players and all that, but you need to invest. 100 million, I don't know. Let's see. I don't think we are close to spend 100, let me put it that way, but I don't know. But let's see what will happen in the future.
And to actually catch Arsenal, to get onto that level consistently of Arsenal, whether it's 100 million or not, and you've sort of answered that, but you will have to spend a lot of money, won't you? You can only do so much. I mean, it's there for everyone to see to spend that money.
Yeah, I think I'm a big believer that we need to develop the players, and we have. And I think if we do that, it's about how can I say, if you can develop players that not all of them should cost whatever 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever the amount is, because I think no one has done that. Liverpool didn't do that for them to go to the top. Even City haven't done that. So you need to be good to develop the players, which I believe that we are and we will be very good at. But then of course you also need to invest in the right potential of a player, and potentially can be 22 years old, he can be 26. Declan Rice is a good example. How old was he? 24, 25, something like that. But anyway, when he was bought, I think that's important. No one achieved the top without investing as well.
And the Lewis family, without quoting figures, I'm not after figures on this question, but the Lewis family, they've put a message out of sustained success. So internally, have they said enough to assure you that they realise that that's what will need to happen?
They definitely said that they are all in for the club, and they want to be here for the long term, and they want to have success. That's of course a little bit big headlines. We'll see what's happening in the future, but I'm confident that they will back us to do everything we can to build a successful club. It's very, very difficult to give a specific answer on it, and I think it's very good. I'm very good at talking up here, but about showing it out there on the pitch consistently after setbacks, the same with them, in the best positive way. That's what we need to do together.
Did you think you had Essie?
Yeah, what, sorry?
Did you think you had Essie?
Who's Essie?
Essie.
Very good player. He plays for Arsenal, a team we want to beat on Sunday.
Was there a point there when you thought he was going to be a Spurs player?
I think I've said before, I really like to speak about players that are here, and the other two I will speak about is Messi and Ronaldo. I need to find two other players when they're retiring in a year or two.
What do you think Arsenal, do you think Arsenal are better than they were last year? If so, what do you think they're doing better? What has made them the best team in the Premier League over this first phase of the season?
I think we don't want to praise them too much, Arsenal in general, but also we need to, we can't hide or look away from right now. They are top of the table in the Premier League, and I think they invested a lot in the squad, also in the summer over the last couple of years, so they have a very strong competitive squad with almost two good players in every position.
Matt, fast.
You spoke before the Super Cup issue about kind of sort of special operation for that match. Is it almost impossible to do something like that for this match, coming straight off an international break when you probably only had a training session?
Yeah, I think that game was special in many ways. It was one game, one winner, one loser, not a draw, nothing. Against the best team in the world, PSG. And we've been together for 6 weeks, so that was a special operation, definitely.
We've spoken a lot about Tottenham's injuries this season. Are you jealous in a way of Arsenal's squad there? Because Gabriel's out, and you look at who they could bring in, could be Nkapie, Mascara,
I think it's. I said before, I'm happy with my squad. I think it's two clubs on two different journeys. I hate to say it, but a little bit ahead of us. But we know that's one thing. But in one game, 100% sure we'll be very competitive, and of course we can win on Sunday. And then of course we know in general squad depth is good and important, but I'm not really looking at other teams. I'm just looking at my team there. If I have a player out, that's what I'm focusing on. I need to have another one to replace a position.
Can I just ask about Bob? I think you said at the time he had a small procedure. Is there a chance that he needs something more significant, more surgery?
That I'm pretty sure he doesn't need. Yeah.
is he currently training at all on the grass by himself?
We are very aware of how we do things. So when do we really push and when do we not push? So now we are in a place where we think it'll go forward, and then we'll take from there.
Okay, and John, please.
John? Just to get back to the set pieces, you said you educated both coaches.
Yeah.
Very different coaches.
Yeah. Of course, it was, I would say, educated work with them. Very big potential, both of them as coaches. I think both of them are very curious. Both of them want to learn. Both of them want to develop constantly. How can I say? Studying the game of set pieces. So in that way, they are quite the same mindset in many ways. Trying to find a way how can you improve set pieces to hurt the opponents, corners, wide free kicks. So in that sense, they were similar. They have the one is Swedish and the other is French, so a little bit different temper. But besides that, nothing.
Do they see themselves as direct rivals in this battle? Among like artillery pieces.
That's a good.
Work out what each other's going to do.
Yeah, no, that's the part. Is like, of course, Mikael and I, with our coaching staff, will have a battle. How can we, get the upper hand, and then it'll be the same with Andreas and Nicholas.
Is that like the this season? It be like a bit like a medieval warlord, sieging your position.
I definitely think that the game has got more and more tactical, and there's more and more tweaks to the game that I think is hugely important. But I think desire, determination, energy is equally important.
You see yourself as a pioneer of this, Mikael?
Of what?
For making sure that you get everything out of set pieces. And Mikael said quite recently you've been 10 years in there.
Yeah, of course. I actually read that as well. So I would say I would give the credit to Brentford because, of course, I was aware of set pieces, and I gave that example with my under 12 team in Frederiksværk back in '98. I did a little routine there, but that's not like the same that I was the pioneer of it. I think where I really took a focus jump was with Brentford, so they deserve the praise.
Okay. You under 12s good at.
They were very good at playing football, but that game we made 2 routines and we won 2-0, so that's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.